Welcome to Your Mic is Hot, the podcast where we speak up, stand out, and build something that fits your life. I'm your host, Julie Eichhoff of the Online School for Voiceover, and I believe that your voice, your story, and your skills are the keys to creating a business that's as unique as you are. And let's dive in. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. As a reminder, this is a podcast for creatives, coaches, podcasters, really anyone who considers themselves a solopreneur, or anyone who is building something personal, powerful, and profitable without selling their soul or working 80 hours a week. I'm Julie, and today we're diving into something I think more of us need to hear. And that is this. We don't need to build a big business to make a big impact. Yep, in fact, small can be mighty, small can be scalable, and small can be sustainable. This episode is called Small Business, Major Impact: Why Small is the New Scalable. If you've ever felt pressure to go bigger, faster, or I guess in some ways just like louder to feel legit in your online business space, well, you're not alone, but let's challenge that idea. Let's reframe what success actually looks like when you're building something that fits your life, not just your LinkedIn bio. Okay, let's start with this. What is a small business, or maybe we'll call it a micro business, really? Let's start with some definitions so we're all on the same page. A micro business is typically defined as a business with fewer than 10 employees. But in our world, like the creative solopreneur world, it often means just you. Maybe you have a virtual assistant, or maybe you have a podcast editor, or maybe you have a bookkeeper, but it's really mostly just you. When I think about it in my business, I am a solopreneur. And as I have transitioned and added from voice artist only, and I've added, and now I'm a course creator and a podcaster, and I think about all the different hats that I wear. I do my own bookkeeping, although I hate it. Not my own taxes, but my own bookkeeping. I do my own marketing, and that's making graphics. That's writing all of my emails and putting together email funnels. It's social media posting, which I don't do a lot of. Web design, landing pages, obviously customer service. I'm the only one here dealing with my students. I create courses that involves writing scripts. So it's writing and copywriting. It also involves audio editing and video editing, and the list goes on and on. Those are all the different hats that I wear as a solopreneur. So what we're talking about today is people like that, people whose business is you and maybe one other person, but you wear lots of different hats. And doing so, you get to do things your own way. So you might be a voice artist who is recording in your home recording space. You might be a coach. Maybe you have an online course, or maybe you have live coaching that you do, something like that. You might be a podcaster. You have a strategy for your content, and maybe you have a monetization plan that goes along with that. But you also could just be a creative entrepreneur. Maybe you sell some kind of digital download or graphics or photography, or you may have a service-based business. Are you a copywriter? Do you help people with Facebook ads? There's a million different types of solopreneur type small businesses or micro businesses out there. So anybody and anything in that category is what we're talking about. We are not trying to build a Fortune 500 company. What we're doing is we're building a livelihood that fits with our energy levels, our goals, our schedule, and even our season of life. And for a lot of us, that part is the dream. It's not managing a big company and managing a big team. It's not onboarding hundreds of clients. It's about doing what we love. Even in my case, I'm wearing lots of different hats, and I enjoy doing all of them. Doing it with people we love and or care about. So my students and my clients, I really, truly like these people. And if I don't like them and they don't like me, then we don't work together. And then it's making a good living at it. So it's finding all the pieces of that puzzle and putting them together. And because of that, big isn't always better. We live in a world that really does glorify scale, big launches, live launches, big teams, big numbers. And if you're not aiming for, like a 7-figure income, or you don't want to grow a personal brand that dominates the algorithm and goes viral, it can feel like you're doing something wrong. And I want to put a stop to you feeling that way. Because here's the truth. Bigger isn't always better, but it is louder. And in chasing bigger, a lot of folks end up creating businesses that don't feel good. They scale before they're ready, or they grow their audience, but they lose their message. They hire a team, and then they spend all their time managing people instead of creating that thing that really inspires them. I think about this a lot when I watch Shark Tank. Do you ever watch that show? I think it's on ABC or maybe NBC, MSN. I don't know which channel it's on. Anyway, it's on a lot. Sometimes it's reruns and sometimes it's new ones. And I think it's the entrepreneurial spirit in me that makes me really enjoy that show. But lots of times I see people come on that show and they're pitching the sharks, and they have created something amazing, and they have created something that is selling, and they have created something that's making them a really nice income. And sometimes they come on that show because they are ready to grow and to go really big. And they need the help of sharks because they don't know how to do it on their own. They need more resources. And the sharks can sort of take them from point A to point B much faster than trying to figure it out on their own. And every once in a while, the sharks look at these people and they say, you know what? You have a really good business as it is. Why do you want to take it to the next level? Why do you want to go through the headache of hiring a bunch of people, finding a larger location, all the extra stuff and hassle that goes with that? Because then all you're doing is managing your business. You're not really selling your thing and dealing with your audience or your customer. And so that's kind of my point of view here today, is that, for some people, big is better. That is their goal. And really, thankfully so, because aren't we thankful for those big businesses out there that provide us services and products that we need? Yes, I'm very happy for them, and I'm thankful they're there, and I utilize those businesses. But for me personally, that's not the life that I want to be in. That's not the schedule that I want. That's not the pressure that I want. That's not the responsibility that I want. I want to make an income, but I really want to do it in my own way and be responsible for things that I'm comfortable being responsible about, if that makes sense. So, small doesn't have to mean you're stuck. You don't have to feel bad if you intentionally decide to keep your business small, because sometimes small means smart. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the advantages of staying really lean, the advantages of keeping your business intentional as you move forward. Number one advantage is your agility. You can pivot really fast. You can test things quickly. You don't need to go through layers of approval. There's no committee meetings. You can change course when and if you need to. And that when and if could be as simple as there's a change in your life. Maybe you need to move to a different city or something like that. You can pause your business and pick it up where you left off. Or maybe something in your business isn't feeling right, or maybe it's not profitable like you want it to be. You can very quickly stop doing that thing and pivot and do something else. So I've been teaching the Work From Home Doing Voiceovers course to my students for many, many years. And it's teaching people how to become voice artists. And through that process, I learned that a lot of people really enjoy audiobook editing, and they would like to become editors for other people. Well, to better serve those people, I decided that maybe I should add an extra course, an advanced editing course, so that these people who really, really want to get good at editing and mastering audio, and maybe including that as part of their tools of things that they sell for an extra income stream, I can teach them how to do that better. And so, in the matter of a day, I come up with an idea. I start jotting down all the things I want to include in this advanced course, start shooting it, start recording it, start editing it, and put it out there in the world. It didn't require me talking to 25 other people, making decisions, all that sorts of thing. It was really an inspiration, an idea, and it was something that people needed, and so I put it together. And that was several years ago. And then most recently, the podcasting course. So I have students who want to use their voice in lots of different ways. Sometimes, as a voice artist, you want to be hired by your client. Your client hires you to record something, you send it to them, and you get paid. But sometimes you want to use your voice in your own way to create an income. And that's what podcasting can do. And so I asked all of my people, first of all, is this something you'd be interested in? And of those that responded, a staggering, I think it was between 50 and 60% said, yes, I'm interested in podcasting. So I took the next few months and put together a podcasting course and just launched that actually earlier this week. So you are very agile when you stay small and when you stay really connected to your audience. All right, number 2, advantage of staying lean is your connection. You can actually know your people. You respond to their messages. You can personalize their content. Your audience feels seen and heard. You have a real connection. This is important for a lot of reasons. One is when you work, say, from home on your own business as a solopreneur, as much as you love the independence and the privacy and the quiet, you do sometimes need that synergy, that connection with people. And if you have a lean business where you are the person handling, we'll call it customer service or sales, answering questions, whatever it is, you have a real connection with your people. And that can be really inspiring. But secondly, it also allows you to really understand what your audience needs and wants so that you can pivot because you are agile. So if you stay a little bit smaller and stay really connected to your people, you grow from it, and you are then in a position to help them grow as well. You can personalize everything. Okay, number 3 advantage of staying lean is profitability. And yes, you heard me, I said profitability. You say, really? Can I be profitable when I stay small? Well, when you keep your costs low, you keep more of what you earn. So when I started my online course, I already had recording equipment and audio equipment, and I used a platform to host my course that offered a free option. I actually created an online course for free and started selling it for free. I think the first thing I paid for was a domain, just so that I could have an email account and a web page. And that was the first time I spent money. So if you keep things under control and keep your costs low, you keep much more of what you earn. So a simple offer can be more profitable. Number 4 advantage of staying lean is your creative freedom. You can build around your energy, your process, your schedule. You don't have to operate like you're in an agency or in a business. You don't have to say, I'm going to work every day from 10 until 2 or whatever. When I get an idea in my head, so for example, the podcast course, I worked on that pretty much exclusively for a good 3-4 months at least. And in doing so, when I do that, I really kind of forget about stuff at home. Cooking is really bad. Housekeeping, bare minimal. And everything gets put on the back burner until I get this big creative thing going. And then once I get the creative thing going, then I can go back. And I'm like, okay, house, what have I been neglecting? What should I be working on? And I think my husband also felt this because we recently had Mother's Day here, and now this would be a sensitive thing to do, but he got me a vacuum. I'm going to take a tangent here and tell you about this vacuum, though, because he really thought he was helping me. Now, normally Mother's Day and a vacuum don't go hand in hand, right? But the thing about this vacuum is that it's more like a robot, like you've heard of a Roomba. It's similar to that. But this one also scrubs your floors. So it can go out and determine like which parts of your floor are carpet and which parts are hard surface. And it knows what to clean with wet mops and what to clean with vacuum. And it goes back and it cleans itself in between. So like I turn this thing on at night And when I get up in the morning, I have like the most straight vacuum lines on my carpet, and I have clean wood floors everywhere. And I do this about every other night. So all of a sudden, I don't feel overwhelmed that I'm completely neglecting my whole house. I will put a link to this vacuum in the show notes. I forget what it's called. Razor, Robo, I don't remember what it is. You'll find the link in the show notes. It's expensive, but it's cool. And so what he was doing was helping me. Because once I get in my zone of creativity where, we only do laundry when we really need it, and we're going to grill a lot of food because I'm not spending a lot of time in the kitchen cooking. When I need to spend that energy on my business, I can and I do. And this vacuum cleaner helped me with that because it helps keep the house clean in those periods when I am totally focused on my business. But then once I get that course up and running, now I'm back to, okay, I should be cleaning windows. Maybe I organize a closet, so I can use my energy in a way that works for me and my family. So that's what we mean by creative freedom. If you are more creative at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., or if that's when you want to do your recording, if you're a voice artist, whatever it is, being small allows you to have that freedom. If you are set up as more of a traditional business where you are responsible to people every day, 8 to 5 or noon to 5 or whatever it is, then you've lost that creative freedom. And so one of the benefits of staying lean and staying really in control of your own business is that freedom that it allows you. This is really powerful for creatives because you maybe don't want to spend your whole week doing admin tasks, or maybe as a podcaster, you really want to spend maybe 3 days a week creating lots of content and being ready for the next few weeks and then taking a few weeks off. All of these things are under your control. You get to decide how and when you do things. Okay, let's look at a few more examples to help you visualize, what this really could look like for you. We'll start with maybe a voice artist example. You're a voice actor, and you've decided after spending time doing work in lots of different genres that what you really like and what you're really good at is e-learning narration. This can be your complete niche that you want to work in. So you work from home, you find some e-learning clients, you develop a website that's specific to e-learning. And what you're going to do at this point is niche down and find repeat clients. So your goal is not to audition for everything that becomes available, every audiobook, every commercial, every this, every that. You are going to niche down and say, I'm just doing e-learning. My marketing is going to focus around just finding a few clients who will give me repetitive work and the income I need. So you're going to niche down and you're going to be in control. Okay? Smaller, but more effective. Okay, another example, maybe a podcaster. Maybe you run a podcast and the topic is for freelance creative, something like that. Maybe you have just a modest following, a couple of thousand downloads per episode, which is really pretty good. But it's modest, in terms of big time podcasting. But what you've decided to do, what anyone who could be in this example has decided to do, is to monetize that podcast with a coaching program, with a monthly membership. Okay? So develop a coaching program. It could be in person. It could be evergreen, whatever you want to do, some kind of coaching program with a monthly membership that helps you meet your income goals. You don't have to go viral. You don't have to get, 50,000 episodes being downloaded every week. You can even repurpose your content over and over. You are niching down to find the exact people who might want to work with you. And your income then gets based on them deciding to be a part of your coaching program. So the podcasting and the coaching go hand in hand. But again, you've niched down so that you're not trying to be everything to everybody. Okay? Another example might be a coach you're teaching something, could be any one of a million things, but you've decided you're only going to coach this program maybe 3 times a year. That's it. You're going to keep focused on finding the right people for your coaching program, create a wait list so the next time it comes available, you've got people ready, willing, and able to sign up. You can do a few upgrades, like maybe VIP days, follow-up coaching behind the scenes, whatever. The main thing is, by only doing this 3 times a year, you only have to work part-time, and you have a lot of free time to handle whatever other activities you want to do, okay? These are micro businesses. They can help you thrive. They offer endless opportunities, but the gist of it is that you're niching down and getting really good at something, okay? Staying small can still be profitable. Okay, so now let's talk about scale for a second. So if you're still in the mindset that bigger is better, that old model would say that you need to hire more people, you need to do more, you need to sell more, you need to reach more people. But this newer model that I'm suggesting, this small business, big impact model, would ask questions more like, is there anything here that can actually be done in a simpler way? Is there any way to automate something or systematize something? Email automation can help a lot. There's easy programs for making graphics. There's easy programs for almost anything you want to do. So there are ways to make all of the tasks that you do simpler by automating. So you do need to investigate those. But then on top of that, I would say scale by depth instead of by reach. And this is all going down to niching. Finding something specialized that you are really, really good at, and go find your smaller core of people who need and want to work with you. And that makes your life easier, simpler, takes less time to manage, you're good at it, and your people get really good results. All right? So some examples of scaling small would be creating one core product, selling, you're creating a course or something that you really, really like, and then using evergreen funnels to sell it passively. And this could be an ebook, this could be graphics, this could be a course, this could be lots of different things. You're going to create one thing only that you're really, really good at. And then you're going to use evergreen funnels. So these are email funnels that are set up. They're set up to just run on their own. And you sell it passively. You don't really have to do anything except check in on the whole system once in a while. Okay? Another thing you can do is to repurpose your content. So if you write blog posts, if you wrote an ebook, if you do podcasts, anything like that, you can usually take that content and make slight adjustments to it and repurpose it. So you don't have to continually make new things all the time. You can take a blog post and turn it into Facebook posts and Instagram posts. You can do the same thing with podcast content. There's just a million ways. Cut things down, reuse them, and then it cuts down on the amount of work that you have to do because repurposing takes less time than creating something new. Another example of a way to scale is simply to raise your prices instead of chasing more clients. I ask you this, is there anything in your life in the last 6 months that has not increased in price? Anything? My Life 360, that's the where you can track your kids, it raised 30%, not 3%, not 5%, 30%. I have a little app that tracks my dog because he ran away a few times. We have a little GPS collar on him. Big increase on that one too. Netflix, big increase. Water, big increase. Don't even get me started on homeowners insurance because that will make me very angry. But seriously, it's time to raise prices. I mean, I hate to say it, but one of the easiest ways to scale is to raise prices. And if you feel uncomfortable with that, then think about your offer. Is it worth it? Is there something you can add to it to make it feel more worth it? But consider raising your prices. And then also another idea, create a digital product version of whatever your most common service is. So if you are a service provider, you are someone who people hire you to do things. Are you copywriting? Are you creating graphics? Are you editing something? Whatever it is it possible you could create a digital version that you could sell, where you maybe teach those people how to do it on their own? Just an idea. Just find a way to create something that you can sell over and over and over again, because that's easier to scale than using more of your own personal hours in the day. So you don't need like 100,000 followers. You need like 100 true fans, like people who will buy from you again and again because your work is excellent. Your brand is human. They know you and they trust you. So niche down, get really good at what you do, and find your people. All right, another question for you is this. How do you know if a micro business or a small business model is right for you? I'm going to have you ask yourself a few questions. Number one is, do you want to stay close to your work and your audience? Okay. What I'm asking you here is, this thing that you have built, your business, do you want to stay close to it? Do you like to be a part of the creative part of it, the pivoting part of it, the strategy? And do you like to be in touch with your people, the people buying it from you? Do you want to engage with them? If your answer is yes, that's a good sign that the micro business model is right for you. If the answer is no, I'd rather manage people. I'd rather manage meetings. I'd rather not talk to my customers. Well, then maybe a larger business is better for you. Next question is, do you value freedom and flexibility? I think everybody's answer to this is yes. And unfortunately, some people need to work in these big businesses, and that's fine. And part of what they lose is the freedom and flexibility. There's probably things they gain with that, maybe a larger income. Maybe, I don't know if you feel more secure there or not these days, but I think everyone wants freedom and flexibility, and micro businesses certainly offer that. All right, next is, do you want to build your business around your lifestyle, or have your lifestyle revolve around your business? Okay, ask yourself this. Do I want to build around my lifestyle, or do I want to have to build my lifestyle around my business? Okay, this one is just huge. And this is the purpose for this podcast, because if you are a solopreneur, a small business owner, one of the best advantages is based on the decisions that you make. You can build your business around your lifestyle, and you don't have to adjust your lifestyle for your business. That's the benefit of staying small, being able to pivot, being able to automate, make decisions that make sure that your business doesn't run all over you. Okay? For example, in my business, a lot of people who teach courses offer a lot of live coaching. They'll offer like an online course, but then like a really expensive option where you get one-on-one coaching. And I mean, I see these for like $2,000 to $5,000 where you get a lot of one-on-one time. And that is not something I'm interested in the slightest, because I don't want to have to commit my time to one other person in a world right now where I never know if I'm going to have to go drop things and go spend a week helping an aging parent, or if I want to go spend a week with my daughter in another state or something like that. I don't want to feel responsible to people like that, and I don't have to. I offer a course that people can do at their own pace, and anytime they have a question, I'm there to answer it, but it's not like I'm committing hours and hours of time. These are questions I can answer on the fly. If I'm driving 8 hours in my car, I can stop at a gas station, pull over, type out an answer to somebody's question. That fits my lifestyle. Committing to hours and hours a day for weeks on end to someone, that one doesn't fit my lifestyle. That doesn't mean it might not fit yours. Live coaching might be perfect for you. It might be exactly what you want to do, and that's great. All I'm saying is that each one of us has our own lifestyle that we want to build around, and we get to make decisions specific for ourselves. Okay? So if you're nodding, yes, I get that, that's what I want, then welcome in. You're in the right place. This doesn't mean that you can't grow your business. It just means that you're going to be growing with intention, and you're choosing your own metrics of success. And some of that is just being happy with your lifestyle. A lot of us struggle with feelings like we need to prove something, that we're not real business owners unless we're scaling big, unless we're making 7 figures, unless we're everywhere on Instagram or launching something live every quarter. But real success is about enoughness, okay? When you become mature enough to Understand what it is you want from your life and know that you are capable of building it. You can define your own enoughness. What's enough time? What's enough money? What's enough energy? What's enough presence? With a micro business or a small business, you can get enough money to fund your lifestyle, enough structure to stay creative, but enough spaciousness to take care of your mental health. And when you're rooted in your version of enough, then you're unstoppable. You don't want to quit. It fits your life. Okay, now let's bring this down to something tangible. This is your micro challenge for the week. So once again, grab a notebook, grab your notes app, something. You're going to write things down here, all right? Number 1, I want you to answer this question. If I could run my business with just 2 core offers, what would they be? All right, think about your business. If you could run it with just 2 core offers, what I'm asking you here is, what are you going to niche down to? What are your 2 things you're going to do in your business? Next question. If you could only show up on one marketing platform, where would you feel most energized? Marketing platform. Is it Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever else you want to think about? One platform. Where do you feel the most comfortable, the most energized? Where are you happy? Number 3, what systems or support would free you up to focus on the work you love? Okay, what systems or support could free you up to focus on the work you love? All right, it might be that vacuum that I was just telling you about. Is housework getting in the way? Get somebody to clean your house. Get the vacuum. Or another example is, are you just not good with maybe graphics? Like you just can't create graphics. You don't know how, you don't want to know how, whatever. Then you may need to get help in that one area if that one area is stopping you from moving forward. Okay? So think about what's your hurdle and why is it a hurdle and how can you get help with that hurdle? Because something's slowing you down and it doesn't need to. There's an answer to it. Find that answer. All right, next question. What does a perfectly enough income month look like for you? So we're not talking about your wildest dreams income, like crazy, but what does perfectly good enough? How much money do you want to earn every month? What does that look like for you? Be realistic. And the final question is, what does success feel like in your body? Okay? Now, if some of you are coming from different careers, you might think about different careers you've had. Back when I was in broadcasting, you know what? That was really fun. I felt success in my body a lot there. I enjoyed what I did all day long. And at the end of the day, I didn't have a lot of stress. That was the kind of job where, when you were done with the news that night, you went home, you didn't have other responsibilities to worry about that night. You were just done with your day. And then I think about other jobs I've had, like real estate, where you never turn it off. You are working 24/7. Thank you, real estate agents out there. We know how hard you're working because you always feel responsible to someone. Whether it's a house listed for sale on your street that you have listed and you feel like you can't go to bed at night until you get an offer on that house. So that business felt successful monetarily, but it did not feel good in my body. I felt stress a lot. So what feels good on your body when it comes to work? Is this the creative process what really gives you energy and keeps you going? Or does the creative part stress you out? Are you more of a bookkeeper type where you say, just give me concrete things to do all day? That's what I love doing. Everybody's going to be different here. Think about what makes your body and your mind happy on a daily basis. And you're going to fit in your job responsibilities in there and make sure that how you are doing them and when you are doing them continues to make your body and your mind feel happy. Okay, this is the beginning of your micro business blueprint. It's not small in ambition, but it's focused and it's intentional. Okay, hopefully that gives you a lot to think about today. You don't have to build a business that overwhelms you just to feel like you are successful. You can build something lean and something focused and something flexible and something aligned. You can build something that fits your real life and still makes a real impact. Your business doesn't have to be massive, but it can still be very meaningful. So at this point, I would suggest stop chasing scale just for scale's sake. Chase freedom, chase clarity, chase purpose, chase simplicity. Because small is not a stepping stone, it's a strategy. Remember, your mic is hot and the world is listening. And just in case, if you have interest in becoming a voice artist, please check out my free mini course, Intro to Voiceovers. You'll find a link to it in the show notes. It's a Q&A session that should help answer all those questions you have going on in your head, wondering how you could make it happen. So find the show notes, check out the link for the free mini course, Intro to Voiceover. Thanks for tuning in to Your Mic is Hot. If today's episode got you thinking, dreaming, or planning, share it with a friend, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Remember, your mic is hot. The world's waiting. Speak up, stand out, and build something that fits your life.